Today on the American Truck Podcast, World of Warcraft Legacy servers may return, Pokemon Go was made better, EVGA is still dealing with heat issues, and Apple cuts prices on USB Type-C dongles. Hello and welcome to the American and European Truck Podcast with Andrew C.
And reporting from America, Jefferson B.
And Freelance Gamer. Apparently, Andrew C. has taken this election seriously and decided to go back to Europe.
A little bit. Yeah, for some reason my game decided it did not want to record properly, and so Eurotruck records fine. So I figured, whatever, we'll just do that. And then Jeff ran into problems with his game save not working, and he couldn't use my profile because I got DLCs that he doesn't have and whatnot.
Right, you ran into problems with the American Truck. I ran into problems with the Euro Truck. It's been a long Tuesday, guys.
It has been a very long Tuesday, indeed. But to jump right into things, well, I just crashed immediately. Rest in peace, my truck.
Wait, getting your Euro legs back?
Oh yeah, it's very difficult.
Getting used to driving on that left side of the road.
Well, I mean, I'm in Berlin, so I've never driven on the left side there. But anyway. Definitely having some struggles here with the shorter truck. But to jump right into the news here, we got some World of Warcraft Legacy server news.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Nostalaris, you remember they were having discussions with Blizzard and whatnot, how they were going to try and get legitimate servers set back up. And there was a lot of hope that there would be some kind of discussion about it at BlizzCon. Some mention at all. Just saying anything. That did not happen. That was very largely assumed that it wouldn't happen at BlizzCon, which not a lot of people were surprised by. But it has resulted in Nostalaris deciding that they kind of are in the screw Blizzard camp when it comes to Legacy servers now. They've resumed their plans of releasing the source code and tools. Remember, they discontinued those plans back when there was a possibility that Blizzard would give the Legacy servers an official platform.
Or at least consider it, or talk about it, or negotiate about it.
Right, and so now they have they're going to give that information, all that data, to the World of Warcraft Elysium project.
Yeah.
Which their whole functional purpose is to kind of get these tools out there for different ways of getting into private servers for WoW, if I'm not mistaken.
So basically, instead of being private and going to the right people about it, they're just exploding it to the rest of the world and opening up this software to be available for free for everyone.
Yep.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
And it's actually really easy to start your own private server. I did it a very long time ago. So long ago that you can't come after me, Blizzard. Fuck off. But a while ago, I actually started one that I ran for me and two friends of mine.
It's
super easy if you have the vanilla game. It's super easy to run. And let me put it this way: it's super easy to get it running, to have people connect, but then to keep it stable for large amounts of people becomes insanely difficult.
I find this whole thing very interesting just because it feels very hacky in a way. Like it's very much like a sticking it to the man sort of situation, which I just think is cool. I'm all in favor for something like that. More information required on what do they mean when they say open source, because they're trying to open source closed source software. That can get really weird, especially in the open source friendly communities. But I'd be interested in checking out their source code, seeing what they've come up with.
Right.
Yep, so definitely keep an eye on that as we get closer to that occurring. They said it is going to take time. It is not an easy process to get all this stuff packaged and
package it up, document all the things.
Yeah, and I guess that is Elysium's job, is to really get it to be a documented process so people can install the stuff.
Right.
Other things that are happening, there's some changes coming to Pokemon Go. There's going to be less Pidgey, Rattata, and Zubats, and much more of other Pokemon when you catch things.
A great idea at first, but I'm so glad that they're finally dialing back, just to interject.
Yeah, and then they're also going to make it so the very common Pokemon will no longer hatch from eggs, so you're not going to get Pidgeys and Rattata in eggs anymore.
They're only doing that, from what I understand, for ones that you can get in any location, though. So there's some that are considered common in areas, but if it's common to your area, you may still get it, from what I understand, in an egg,
right.
because it's not common to people in other areas.
Right.
Which explains the whole Pidgey, Rattata, and
Right.
Pidgey, Rattata, Zubat thing. Like,
those specific ones. Yeah, because
Exactly.
those are neutrals. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not by example. That's like the actual list.
Yeah, and they said like Eevee will still be in the 5-kilometer eggs, but that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. They're also working on releasing and expanding the release of their not so sucky tracking system. You know, that's been gone for a couple months now.
The one that didn't work, was trying to work again, and subsequently broke a second time.
Yep.
Yep. So the replacement of that is currently being beta tested in Arizona, Seattle, and San Francisco.
I find it kind of interesting that they're testing. They're quiet over there. I find it interesting that they're testing it in Seattle, a city, San Francisco, a city,
and Arizona, a state.
The whole state.
Yep.
I mean,
what? Just to say Northern California, you basically have the same terrain as Arizona.
as somebody who's currently driving through Arizona, I mean, there's some stuff you got going on here.
Really?
That was a UFO that just went overhead.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of
there was
funny.
any right now. I said there's something.
I thought it was a funny
Monkeys and
thing.
typewriters, dude. It's eventually gonna be something.
One whole state and 2 cities in other states. So that's yeah. We'll see what happens with that. They are seeming to be rolling it out to more places now, and hopefully you'll see it soon near you. They're definitely doing things to try to get people back into playing this, especially since we're winter time.
I forgot it was a thing.
Yeah, the bubble kind of burst on it. So I know at least for me around the office, there's what went from being 12 people play is now like one dude playing.
Yeah.
And even he is more of a casual now, so it's like, I hope. I saw an article today, this is just pure rumor mill, that we're looking at finally starting to see the close of Season 1 and the open of Season 2. So, definitely a lesser known season for a lot of classic Pokemon fans that were fans when they were children, but still, like, it's the natural evolution of the game.
Yep.
Pun totally unintended.
Yep.
Speaking of things that have evolved and changed,
indeed, the Steam store has evolved and updated and become fancier over time. They've been talking about updating the Steam store for a little while here, making it a little more user-friendly and whatnot, and they've added a bunch more personalization options to the store now, so that you can kind of gear it more towards your type of games that you like and whatnot, and you won't get badgered by things you don't want. As well as putting different focuses on reviews and whatnot. So this is currently just the main store pages, like the home page and whatnot. It hasn't trickled down into the product pages yet, but I'm pretty sure it is in due time going to hit the product pages, and those will be changed as well.
so far I like it. I will say it's really nice. It's clean.
Yeah, and it's got some emphasis on sales and whatnot built into the home page.
I'm interested in how this is going to play into the Christmas sale, the Great Steam Christmas sale. But
it will be interesting.
That tunnel is not for sale. Okay.
You don't want to go into not for sale tunnels.
I guess not. Not. It might have a chance of heating up on me, getting a little bit hot.
It might heat up on you. Which, speaking of things that heat up on you,
or at least
those.
There's a reason I'm not recording anything. JK.
Yeah, right. Them EVGA cards. Rip.
My EVGA card. I finally switched because my AMD took too much power from my freaking power
specifically
supply.
10 series EVGA cards, because my 6 series is cooking just fine.
Yep,
I
my
hope it's not
series,
cooking. That's the problem. Mine can cook an egg.
Oh, no. Mine's like making chili, like the good kind of cooking.
Yeah, we're like slow cooking here. On my
mine hits. Let me put it this way: in the menus of Battlefield 1, in the menus, it will reach 60 degrees from 30 degrees within 3 or less minutes.
Were you capturing that with Afterburner? Or not?
I was
What's
capturing it with the
the-
EVGA version of that, which is the precision tool.
The one that's
There
cool.
it is. That's what it's called. Yeah, but
What-
it's still it works.
It functions. It functions to tell me, holy shit, this jumped 20 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
This card is on fire. Yeah.
So
Literally.
I got you.
I had to, in order to play Battlefield 1, completely lower my in-game graphics, completely underclock the system, and then basically tell my power on the system to go to high enough that I can run the fan at 100% at all times, and that if it goes lower for any reason, it shouldn't. I don't know how it could. And then I can play the game. And the game, Battlefield 1, will jitter once in a while. I spent $700 on this card, switching from AMD because I was tired of their bullshit. And this is what I got.
Yep.
I recommend, as someone who owns a EVGA GTX 1080 FTW edition, take your card, go to EVGA's site, ship them your card if you can, or put the deposit down and have them ship you one, swap it out of your machine, or get your replacement once it comes to you, put it in your machine. Because if your card is overheated, you've taken some of the lifespan of your machine and diminished it. And this is something that they are doing, by the way, if you want to do any of the things they've included, which is the thermal padding we talked about, I believe, last week.
Yep.
And they are now releasing a BIOS update for their graphics card.
Yep.
I recommend, rather than, and this is honest, I really do recommend this, if you had it overheat, if you've had this happen, don't do the BIOS update, send it back, have them send you one with thermal pads on it, and the BIOS updated. Have it done by them. You can't be, there's no way they can say you screwed something up, you had any problems, or you did anything at fault. You got it factory restored. Because your device that costs $700, your card, should be at least worth, it should work much better than it currently does, and it isn't. That's how I feel, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sending my card in, or I'm going to be putting down the $700 deposit, and then having them ship it to me, and then replacing it and sending it back and getting my money back. Because every time your card overheats, you're reducing the lifespan of your card.
Yep. Definitely.
Solid advice for sure.
If
but
you're curious though, if your card is never overheated, and you are interested in just proactively dumping that BIOS update on there, all that's going to do is basically adjust the default fan curve. That'll cause the fan to cool earlier than it currently does.
Key thing is I have it at 100%. So if you, I have it at 100%.
It's not going to help in that unless there's more. Unless it can go more than 100%, then it's really not going to help too much.
So and then the other thing to keep in mind with that is it also 1060s, 1070s, and 1080s. All of them should be doing this. Not just the 1080s, not just the 1070s, which have been having the overheating problem. If you have a 1060, you should run it.
Oh yeah.
That's from EVGA, not from me.
Yep. Definitely. Even though even if you haven't had temperature problems, you should
do it.
You should be doing it.
Now,
Same with those thermal pads.
Gentlemen, the problem here occurs. What am I gonna watch with all of this amazing graphics card power that I've got?
Oh my God! Are you really? You're like legitimately drive. Are you in a truck or a Segway? Because you did a great job there.
Could be a little both. Could be a little bit of both.
I like to think that I'm on a train that is headed right to Podcast Town. Let's roll.
So YouTube is going to be rolling out HDR, high dynamic range, for 4K very soon.
I might be able to watch.
And you'll be able to watch all that goodness on your fancy high-end graphics card. Hopefully it's not going to overheat on you.
That has to be hooked up to your fancy high-end HDR TV. That has to have your fancy high-end HD TV bandwidth and no bandwidth cap from Comcast.
That's right.
I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on. I don't
There's a lot
understand
of
why I'd be
qualifications.
It's a tech demo. It's saying, hey, guess what we can push over Google's pipes.
Yep.
That's about it.
Yeah, and
I
we'll
think it's
see.
cool.
We'll see what there is for content anyway. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna look gorgeous, but it's a tech demo.
Yep. So, but it's coming. You'll be. They are saying that they got some systems to work out for being able to upload stuff just as nicely and easily and process everything just as easily as standard dynamic range.
Right.
But
Now, okay. Of course, here's my problem. I went out and I purchased one of those brand new Macs. I know I know it was a harsh choice, but what am I supposed to do about hooking up my USB Type-C enabled Mac or my Thunderbolt 3 enabled Mac to any kind of device?
Well, you're just in luck. Actually, Apple decided that because of all this great USB Type-C revolution that's going on here, they're actually going to drop the price on most of their adapters from $10 to $20. So
Really? So wait, you're telling me we have a dongle drop occurring right now?
we're having a dongle drop, a dongle sale-a-palooza. We got dongles flying off the shelves over there at Apple.
So they're lowering the price by $10 to $20, which I'm gonna say, that's a very good thing. I am for me as someone who would own a Mac if I wanted to be more portable. I'll be honest, if I wanted to buy a laptop, that would be my laptop.
Or if work gave you a Mac?
I have one.
That's what I'm saying. Is like if work gave you a brand new Mac, like one of the new MacBook Pros.
Oh yeah, well, so as a consumer, this is a good thing. Obviously, you're saving some money. You're gonna buy one of each cable and just don't lose them, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
As someone
Have a bag of dongles.
As someone who works and helps with IT and particularly with conference rooms where cables go missing all the time, this is great regardless. We lose Thunderbolt 2 to VGA cables all the freaking time. People just up and grab them thinking they're the one they brought when there isn't. So this is at least going to reduce that cost. I still don't like that everything has to go to USB Type-C. There's one more cable in the room. That's one more for me to provide. It's going to confuse a couple people I work with because people don't know what plugs into their Mac already.
Hey.
So that's just going to throw a monkey wrench into that. But at least this is something they're trying to do to be proactive about problems that can occur.
Right.
I respect
they've recognized the fact that they have jacked their ecosystem up a bit with the fact that the new computers have one jack and one jack only, besides the headphone jack. So, as a person who doesn't own this new style of MacBook yet, not gonna lie, because I'm thinking about buying one, I'm kind of tempted to pick all these adapters up that I would need now and just hold on to them until I buy one, because
I'd wait for the third-party stuff to come out now.
You know, I mean, it's $9 is pretty good for a USB Type-C.
Are the
USB
discounts
adapter.
staying, or is
They're
it
at least through the end of the year.
Yeah.
See, the smart thing here
It's through the end of the year. Oh, we're gonna extend this out through
They should just
spring.
make it the static
spring,
price.
Summer, and it's just indefinite. The
It should be the static new price.
I agree.
If I buy most converters, I can understand if you're going from something that's like analog to digital, you need power, you need something that actually
that's a
does
little more
conversion.
expensive of an adapter.
I get that. Yeah, but like the Apple adapters, most of them don't do that. They're digital to digital or digital to analog. They're not complex.
It's a serious. It's pin crossing, is what it is at this point.
Yeah, and it would be nice if these stayed at the discounted prices. If they don't, then I'm still gonna have the same problem I had last week.
Right. Yeah. So hopefully they will acknowledge that these adapters are a necessary evil of the product, and they should be priced as such. And hopefully it also kind of, a little bit it's going to eat into the third-party market, because
Definitely.
it's some of these adapters, it's hard to get to a cheap price point, where they're going to be all like the same. So hopefully, if anything, we just see that these adapters are now priced to the same as what a third-party competitor is going to price.
To an accurate build cost price, not the Apple Premium.
Exactly.
There you go. All right.
That'll be a first.
It will be. And on that bombshell, it is time to end. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the American and European podcast. I will see you in the next week, where we hopefully will be only in America. But you'll have to tune in to find out. We will see you in the next one.